Sets up a screen. No. Over the middle. And the ball caught. This time it's Taj Washington. Touchdown Trojans.
This is a terrific route. What you're going to see here coming from the left side is this a route. It's kind of a stop, and then he goes across.
Welcome to the Put On Waivers Media Group, home of the Put On Raiders podcast and the Student Body Right podcast. This is your place for the best breakdowns and the best insight for those who fight on and bleed silver and black. Now, here are your hosts, Dwayne Douglas and Ryan Holmes.
Yeah. I mean, even right now, like, so let's just go from the conversation about the Middlecoff show and now to the what's going on real quick with JuJu Lewis. I gotta say one thing about the creative team at USC. I want to give y'all a tremendous
props, 100%
props. I want to give y'all all the credit in the world because those promotional videos for those recruits, it felt like SC. Like that felt like what a SC promo should look like. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
It really did. I mean,
the videos, bro. The videos,
well, they were incredible. I mean, I'll play some of them while we're talking. I can't play the music part of it because YouTube is just crazy with music.
Yeah.
There was somebody could get stabbed on YouTube, and they'll get the music will come down faster than somebody actually getting hurt on YouTube. But as far as that goes, I mean, it really felt really good to kind of see that and like. Hearing I think Adam Brennerman and other people were saying like, wow, like the people who are on 3 were like, wow, these promos look incredible. And I thought it was a little gangster by Coach Lincoln Riley because the one he appeared in was with JuJu Lewis, and I just saw the Julian Lewis one where he's in it with them. And I thought that was kind of like a message to being like, yo, like, just if you talking to him, you're kind of wasting your time. Like,
but what did I tell you? Me and you had conversations, right? And I told you, like, he's taking these visits. Why? Because what did he say? See, Julian said something earlier. So all these guys' numbers. We're recruiting to come here. I've seen recruiting like this.
Yeah,
he's recruiting guys in these camps. Man, come to SC. Come play with me, because I'm him.
He is. I mean, like,
he is special.
He is special.
He is special.
I don't think people. And like, this is the reason why when the Raiders didn't get a quarterback this draft, I was like, yo, like, well, maybe we'll get JuJu Lewis in like 4 years because quite honestly, like, this is the Caleb Williams type talent here. Like, his arm talent. I'm telling you, when he was working out with. In LA, I don't know where, I don't know if it was in LA or not, but where Derwin James was there and some of the NFL players were there and they watching him throw the football, like they were like, yo, this kid.
He's real.
He's real.
He's legit.
He's real.
So here's what I get about JuJu, right? Man, here's what people are underestimating, right? Do you know what kind of promotions we have JuJu in the football team and JuJu in the basketball team?
I know. That's kind of funny.
Well, I get you, right? But what do people say? We're Hollywood.
Yeah.
Well, guess what? It's a match made in heaven, gang. Because guess why? We can push that. We can promote that. And guess what? NIL, all that, they're gonna push that.
Yeah.
You can market
that. Yeah.
So it's a different game. It's a different game when you have to be able to market things. Plus, get this kid up, and this kid can play.
Yeah, no question about it.
I've watched him; he can play.
He plays as a freshman. He's playing. He's playing as a freshman. He's going to play as true freshman.
I went to Georgia and watched him play. The kid can play.
Yeah. There are some guys who are they're big time recruits, and all that stuff like that, and we know all that. But there's some guys who you watch them play just one time and they just pop off the screen and you just know that they're above everybody else. Right.
The ball jumps off his hand.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It
It's
jumps
crazy.
off his
It's
hand.
crazy. The velocity is the velocity and the accuracy of him. And I am not somebody who's into, and everybody knows, like, I am more, this show is more who's on the team right now, transfer portal, stuff like that. Because like high school kids can change their mind just like that. And I don't like spending hours and hours on kids just to see them flip. But for me, but this is one guy who was really special, SC fans. So no question about it. He could walk away with being, because I think what he's going to have that Caleb didn't have is going to be, if they keep this. I mean, I think at the very least, that defensive staff will be there for at least 2 years. So so this year and next year he'll have such a really good defensive support. And the depth on the defensive line will be there, and they'll have people in the secondary who can make plays. So,
well, the one thing that Caleb hasn't had consistently is a good offensive line. I think that we'll get that.
Yeah, I thought year one he was okay in the offensive. They were okay on offensive line, but year two, it was terrible. I mean, up the middle, they just made some bad decisions, and I felt like they fixed it at the Utah game, and then they went back to the same. I was like, why did we go back? To the previous offensive. I
felt like that was due to injury, and that we, because college, you don't have to explain.
Yeah,
so I felt like something that happened due to injury. But I do know that I think with JuJu, we will have, because he's not. One thing about JuJu, I don't know. I'm not gonna say he's more talented than Caleb, bro. I'm not gonna say that. I'm not ready to say that.
No.
Here's what I know. That JuJu is better than Spencer. And JuJu walking in to Oklahoma walks in and takes that job.
Yeah.
Caleb couldn't do that. And that might have been a fault of Lincoln, right? Lincoln wasn't ready to pull that trigger. I don't know. What I do know is JuJu walking in day one is starting as a true freshman.
Yeah, no question about it.
We're gonna get the bumps and bruises, whatever that comes with, and I'm gonna take it in stride. That's what it is, because this kid is like that.
Yeah, he's like that. He is like that. He really is. He's special. He's special.
And you can grow with the receivers on our team because they're young too.
Exactly. So let's go to real quick here. And we talked about JuJu, and I think the one thing that USC fans have to always realize too is the fact that that whole comment you just said that your advice to high school players is to take every visit, and it makes it's you do it once in your lifetime. Just take every visit. It doesn't matter. And like you said, he can steal players from other teams. Like he's like, what do you like? He's like, you're a potential All-American linebacker. Why are you going to be sitting at Indiana? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like when we play y'all, we're going to kill y'all. Like, you know what I'm saying?
We're going to smoke you.
We're going to kill you. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean?
And you're still going to be All-American.
Yeah.
And we're still going to win. And you're not.
And you're going to be playing a meaningless game. So come with me and play some games that mean something. Right. So as far as that goes. So that's what you're hoping for. We saw the fight on emojis all day and all night today. So, and part of it was because Oaks Christian Academy had Hayden Lowe.
Yeah,
he came over and committed. So until they sign something, whatever, I'm not going to go. But I mean, like I said, they are in the conversation for best recruiting class. They're at number 4. I think they're number 4 on 24/7, and then they are like number 3 on 3. So and that goes back to the beginning of the conversation when you say they can't be physical. You said they can't be this, they can't be that. Like you're not even like you can take a peek to see like where the recruiting class was for the next couple of cycles.
You did it.
Like
that's what you did. It.
So that's where the guy who Middlecoff is interviewing. That's a little like if you're supposed to be a college football guy, that's a little lazy. That's a little lazy. I mean, you're gonna walk up and tell Justin Terry that he's not physical, like. Like you're gonna go tell Isaiah Gibson he's not physical. Like you know what I'm saying? Like I mean,
let's talk. Tell Mason Cobb he's not physical.
Yeah. I mean, like
undersized linebacker. Tell Gentry he's not physical.
You can be right about the past and be like, okay, let me just see what they Like
Nice.
take a step back and say, okay, let me see what they do this year. Because to me, like the only gaping thing the thing they're really missing is that big, ugly nose tackle in the middle. But they have a team that's set up for a situation where if they put you in third and long, which there are a lot of quarterbacks in this conference who are not ready for, who are not,
They're not ready for third and long, gang.
they're not ready for them long.
Wisconsin ready for third and long? Let's be honest. Wisconsin ready for third and long? Is Drew Lar ready for third and long?
Well, I've been hearing like, a lot of people feel like Drew Lar is tremendously improved. He has a good team around him. Like Penn State's a good team, like no question about it. But like, I mean, we got to see, because I know that my quarterback.
Wait, hold on. Where's the
Go
DC at? Where's the DC at?
Which one? He bounced.
Oh, okay. So let's make it make sense then. And both of the corners are in the NFL. So let's make it make sense.
Yeah.
Like, see, that's what I'm saying. Like,
that's what they graze. People graze over certain parts of it. No question about it. You're right.
Michigan, people say, oh, they only lost 2 players to transfer portal. They lost 19 to the NFL.
Yeah, NFL. Yeah, come on.
So you lost 21 players, gang. Let's make it make sense. Will Johnson's the dog. Yeah. Will Johnson's the dog. But guess where DC is with the Chargers? Right there. Boom, Chargers. That's where DC is. Head coach, oh yeah, he's over there too. Oh, so what are we doing? Culture is everything in college football.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I would be this. I think people are. And like I have analyzed football for a long time, and I'm not always right, but I'm right a lot of the time. And I would say this is like people are painting a picture of Big Ten football that's really not.
It's flawed.
It's not really a thing. Like what really is going on there is that you have an occasional Michigan State, an occasional Penn State. And the conference is, because of the enormous popularity of, and good players and having good teams at Ohio State and Michigan, the depth is a little lacking. Now they don't have as many cupcakes on the schedule as some of the other teams do. USC, they can't mess around when they go play at Maryland. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can catch an L if you play some of these teams and mess around and let them run the football and stuff like that. But they are treating, I think people are treating it like, this is gauntlet is something that they can't get through. And I just feel like, if they just play decent defense, a top 50 defense, I think they're going to have a really good year.
Top 70.
That's it.
Top 70.
That's it. That's really it.
Just don't be in the hundreds, please.
Yeah, don't be in the hundreds.
Because me and my guy, right? Me and my guy, we talk all the time. My guy, Chef Smitty, again, is going to be on my podcast. He's a co-host on the podcast, Chef Smitty. If you're in Florida, get your oxtails from Chef Smitty. I ain't going to lie to you. But he's a historian, right? And we're like, bro, Big Ten, we have the best defenses. Because you have bad offenses. Like, what are we doing? You're Iowa? Tell me the last time Iowa had a good offense. Don't worry, I'll wait. Tell me the last time that we looked at like Maryland and said, shit, that offense was amazing all around. Don't worry, I'll wait. Tell me the last time we've seen Big Ten outside of Michigan, Ohio State have a complete offense. There's nobody, gang. There's nobody. They need us. They need the USCs. They need Oregon. They need Washington. And Washington, we go to UW this year, we're going to tax them this year because they're not good. They're not good.
I said, man, like I said, I'm not going to say, I don't know what the record's going to be. I don't know what the situation is going to be. I think SC has an opportunity to really to have a good season. I think 10 wins is not out of the realm of possibility. I think for me, I'm going into that season saying if they can go 1-1 against Michigan and LSU, they'll be good to go. But I don't. I mean, LSU is. I mean, are they? Is the USC already 6-point favorites over?
Bro, we're beating LSU.
Over LSU as well. Too,
Here's I'm gonna tell you why I think we're beating LSU, right? LSU's offense is terrible. They don't know who their quarterback's gonna be.
Is that gonna be Nussmeier?
They are confused right now. I pray it's Nussmeier. But wanna know why? He's a statue. Put him back there so we can have Bear. Because you know we don't do well, right? With the Shadors, people that can move. Give us a statue.
Yeah.
Give us somebody who's gonna sit back there and try to.
It should be. Yeah, it should be interesting because they lost they changed their DC. They got a DC from Missouri. Missouri's a good program.
Now look, don't get me wrong. Brian Kelly always gives us a problem. He understands USC football better than a lot of coaches that have been that's faced us, right?
Mm-hmm.
Brian Kelly is one of them dudes. I wanted Brian Kelly more than I wanted Lincoln because of how he recruits. However, Nussmeier is going to be a problem. They lost two first-round receivers. Replace them, please. We didn't lose no first-round receivers. It's not like against our guys, but we understood how our guys work. Mm-hmm. Like you told me, bro, what did Caleb have to do that Jaden Daniels lost two first-round receivers, number 5 and number 17? Yep. 5 and 17.
I mean, Brendan Rice went in the 7th round and went and
Taj went in the 7th round too.
Yeah, so like I mean that's what I'm saying. So like yeah, I mean and then also he only had one. I mean like, listen, I don't know what he's gonna be. I wish him all the luck in the world, Jay Daniels, but he only had one season of really big time football. Like you know what I'm saying, and the year before he had all those weapons there. And in his first year there. So I mean, that's what he's one of the guys who I would say, people don't want to just because he has some flashy plays and stuff like that. People don't want to really ask the hard question. But the question I would have for him if I was in the draft room, like, why did he only have one tremendous season at LSU, where LSU was just loaded offensively? I mean, like, forget about defense, but they were loaded offensively. So I'm not sure why that took place. But
going to that, right? What you said. Defensively, what do they have? They got Perkins. Perkins is a dog. They're using him in a very flawed way. I'm a DC. I'm a defensive guy. Pin that dude's ears back and let him get to the quarterback. But guess what they're doing? We're going to drop him in coverage. We're going to try to make him do this, that, and the third. Why? Let him do what he does best. He's a guy who gets to the quarterback at all costs, whether he's sacking them, hitting them, changing the plays, rolling out. Like he's an influencer is what I call him. Mm-hmm. He can influence the play as long as he's going to get to the quarterback. But they're dropping him in coverage. Their corners aren't better than our receivers. They're not. We're going to cook them. Play man if you want to. We'll cook you. You don't have a running back to speak of.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm telling you right now, we're 14 points better than them right now. And I'll be in Vegas for that. 14 points better.
Listen, we have a lot of time to talk about that game. I'm excited about that game, but like here's the only thing before I go on to Ryder Lions real quick is I'm excited to see Walker Lions too. I can't wait to see that dude play. But
my nephew, I'll be up there for some games. My nephew plays at Folsom.
Yeah.
He's a receiver.
Yeah. Okay.
And he might be with us too.
Yeah.
He moved here from Florida.
Yeah.
My nephew moved here from Florida as a sophomore. He plays at Folsom with the quarterback. So I think that I think he was at the SC camp.
Yeah.
We just had. He was there. I was there with him. He's a receiver. I got him some receiver work because, man, he's 6'3". 6'3", he'll be mind you, he's only a junior. 6'3", 6'4". He'll be 6'4", and he's a dog. He's a dog. JJ Padgett, His name is the JJ Paget. He will be, I think, this year. I'll be surprised if Lincoln will say, "Hey, I don't know why," because he's like the kid. He's like Deuce, like Deuce, bro. We need big guys.
I would say this.
We'll get them.
I would say this about the LSU game real quick. What people, because they're gonna be ranked ahead of us too, and we all know what conference they play in. If USC beats LSU, I'm gonna cook anybody who tries to say this isn't a vintage LSU team. They caught LSU at the right time. Like, you're not gonna get to do that. So make sure the SEC LSU beats you at USC, because if USC beats LSU, we're not playing that game.
Prayers, as my man's LA would say, thoughts and prayers.
Yeah.
I promise you will block me on Twitter.
Yeah.
You will block me in real life, and you're gonna fight me in real life. So I'm gonna be obnoxious. I promise you I will. Anybody I'm going to New Orleans. My wife, her birthday, June 9th, and we're going to New Orleans. I promise, and I'm wearing my SE stuff. Like, I can't help it. It's me.
Yeah.
But I promise you, if I meet you and you talk crazy to me, thoughts and prayers.
It's gonna be interesting time. So Ryder Lyons looks like he is also headed. So this is the thing where, like, we're just lining up the quarterbacks after
what
quarterbacks.
we've always done.
After
Matt
quarterbacks.
Liner,
I mean,
Carson,
even when we had the horrible Clay Helton, we still had quarterbacks. So SC always has quarterbacks.
I'll take you back a little further. Todd Marinovich.
Yeah, I mean, they always had quarterbacks. So we'll see.
Carson, Matt Liner, Matt Barkley, John David Booty. Like, we had guys that could play in college. See, people
think that's an insult when, like, they don't become good pros. Some don't become good pros. I'm like, dude, like, I don't like that doesn't bother me as an SC fan that they don't become good pros. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'll be, like I said, I still, like, I'm gonna be rooting for Kale to do well with the Bears, but, like, if it doesn't happen, like, I know he gave everything he had at SC. Like, you know what I'm saying? So you know what I mean? And I thought Carson Palmer, that injury in that Steeler playoff game, like, totally changed, because they were gonna wax the Steelers that day.
What? Well, see, people always get at me, right?
Yeah, they were gonna wax the Steelers that day.
People always tell me, right? So they're like, who is the best quarterback, right, to come out of SC? And I always say Carson.
Yeah. Right now you have to say Carson.
I always say Carson. They say why? I said because Carson didn't have an offensive line. Matt Liner, offensive line went crazy. Matt Barkley, offensive line went crazy.
Yeah.
John David Booty, offensive line went crazy. But Carson Palmer, we beat Michigan in the Rose Bowl. And he had to handle his business. Because Carson is different. I don't like Tom Marinovich is cool, but I'm taking Carson for me.
Yeah, interesting time there. We'll see. We shall see as far as that goes. So Cinema Right USC podcast. Don't forget to keep an eye out for We Run the Yard, college football podcast coming out in July.
Yes, sir.
Anybody on that show is welcome on this one. So maybe we can do something joint before the season starts.
You absolutely will.
On a preview tip. Right now it seems like it's really only two conferences to really preview. It's like the Big Ten and the SEC. That's the only conferences worth actually previewing.
We will on the We Run the Yard. We will preview the Big 12, the ACC. We're gonna do the AC first, Big 12 second, Big 10, and then SEC, because we know people love the SEC for whatever reason. We don't care, but whatever.
I will say one thing about the SEC. I would say the team that I would, I think what Lane would, I'd be careful if you're an Alabama fan, if you're one of the other teams in that conference. I would say definitely keep an eye on what Lane's doing at Ole Miss. Like they got some dogs over there. They got,
So you know what's funny about Lane before we wrap up, right? You know what's
yeah.
funny about Lane? Lane is the person that they expect Lincoln to be.
As far as
Name me a time that as a head coach that Lane really cared about defense.
no, well, no, not really. But like I will say, but I mean, I will say, you know, getting Walter Nolan and people like that. I mean, I do think they have some pieces there. But like, yeah, I agree with you to a certain extent. I mean, no question about it. But I do think, like as I said, he's taken the personnel steps. Like
So here's what I'm saying. I feel like Lincoln could do the same thing that Lane's doing in the SEC, but because Lincoln hasn't been there, people down him more than Lane. Lane hasn't won anywhere he's been.
not big time, no.
He hasn't.
No.
He really hasn't. People say, "Oh, you went 10 to the SEC." Okay, so what? What was the schedule like in the East? Because he's in the East.
Do people realize that like people realize that some of these SEC teams that everybody like, yes, they'll play each other at some point, but they do play some of the worst schedules
The
that you get.
worst.
That if I know people try to like the reason why they try to get out of the LSU game is because of making the schedule more manageable. Like some of these teams like are not
Oh, Dwayne, I need to ask you about that because I didn't see that clip. Is
Yeah.
that real? Did Lincoln say that?
What they try to get out of that game.
Yeah.
I don't think they got. I don't know if they got try to get out of it or not because the report didn't come from Feldman or any of the big guys. It came from a LSU like fan thing whatever there. So like and like you know what I mean. So like I don't. So like I said, if you mention Washington trying to switch a game, it's not going to move needles. But if you meant that you LSU
I'm saying is because you got to remember back in 03, I think it was they lied on Pete Carroll. They said Pete Carroll tried to get out of that LSU that Saban offered to play USC LSU and Pete Carroll said no. But it was only in a New Orleans paper.
Yes, exactly. So it's the same thing. Nobody else has that. But I mean, like if you look at before we go real quick, let's just look at the USC schedule. And like somehow, some way, I don't know if you saw this, but USC did not make the top 25 toughest schedules on ESPN.
No, we didn't.
So that's something. So that's just something to look at too as well. So okay, so LSU on ranked opponent, neutral site game in Vegas. You have that game. So then you have Utah State. Okay, we know. CBS and Paramount Plus. You can watch the Michigan game. So you got Michigan there. Yeah,
Are you going? Because I'm planning to go.
I cannot go to Michigan. I can't go to Michigan.
So yeah, I'm planning to go with my son.
Wisconsin will have a Wisconsin. You have the Trojan Family Weekend. Wisconsin at Minnesota. Penn State at home at Maryland. Then you got Rutgers at home, and then you got at Washington. You got Nebraska at home, at UCLA, which is a home game anyway, doesn't matter.
Right.
And then Notre Dame. So I mean, like I said, I just look at the first thing I look at is, you know, as far as we're big draft guys here. How many draftable quarterbacks are you playing in this schedule? I think Nessmeyer down the road will be a draftable quarterback. I don't know if Michigan has a draftable quarterback. Is Dylan Raiola going to play immediately?
No, Dylan he's playing immediately because his uncle, he has family that we went to Nebraska, and so here's twofold. Let me back up twofold. Dylan's not good. Let's be clear. about that. He's not JuJu. He's not.
He's not JuJu.
He struggled. He very much struggled going to Georgia. He left Arizona, went to Georgia, and struggled. So when you tell me we got Nussmeier, maybe, Orgy later down the road, Wisconsin, no.
Minnesota, I have no idea who the quarterback is.
I don't know what the fuck that is.
Drew
Allard, draftable.
Maryland,
no. Rutgers, no. Washington,
maybe in the later rounds because didn't they get a transfer from Mississippi State, whatever his name is?
No, they got the same. They got not Noah, but the other.
Who is the quarterback of the
other guy that came from Arizona? He went to Arizona first. Noah Feeder took his spot.
Let me see his name. What's his name again? So
Simone kid.
I don't know. No, he stayed at Arizona.
No. That's Noah Feeder, the one that Noah took his spot.
Will Rogers is the starting quarterback for Washington.
Will Rogers?
Will Rogers from Washington from Mississippi State.
Copy. Okay,
yes,
so
he transferred. So because I remember he had a jersey on the sidelines during the championship game, and people were like, is he gonna end up staying because the quarterback
now
head coach left.
Raiola, I don't know who's gonna be the QB for Buckler, and then we got from Duke at UCLA. At Notre Dame.
Yes,
we got from Duke. Riley Leonard.
Riley Leonard. So Riley Leonard, the two guys who I'm interested to see how they pass this year is Riley Leonard and the Ohio State quarterback, Howard. Because when you make them, when they have to go into that drop back game, like how accurate are they going to be? Tight windows.
Will Howard can be drop back. Well, I don't know.
He's a big guy who can run. He can run. He definitely can. Because I remember when USC was courting him at one point. I was like, well, that would be interesting to see because you could run. You could almost there's games where you could run QB power with him and beat some opponents just with QB power. Because he's that big of a guy. So but can he the accuracy in the pocket drop back game? I'm not sure if he has that in his bag. So that's you're right. Yeah, so that's what I worry about with if I was Ohio State. That's what I'd be worried about if I was Ohio State, because Ohio State has all the weapons in the world, and who knows? If Will Howard is not up to par, then do they go to somewhere? Do they go somewhere else?
It's make or break because he brought him in. It's make or break. I think with Ohio State, he has to play well. You don't have anybody behind him.
Julian Say is not ready. Is not ready right now.
Not ready
right now.
Not ready. So you have to play him right now. Yeah. And it's make or break. And you paid him money because we were after him. So you had to pay him money to get him.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, interesting. We'll see, man. But like I said, the college football is it's going to be a grand time watching all this stuff unfold because you have all these different teams, all this movement with player movement. And then you have these recruiting classes, and like I said, for SC, the missing ingredient, the missing thing that they have to do is just win football games. And I think if they can just get off to that, if they got to that start that they're capable of, it's going to be interesting to see what happens down the road because the schedule where you don't play cupcakes, but you do play teams where if you just play ball the right way, you should beat these teams.
Absolutely.
You should beat these teams. You should beat these teams. You should beat these teams. All right. Let's see. We got a little extra talk. I might have to cut this into 2 shows. All right. As always, fight on, and we'll see you next time. Peace.